In a quiet suburban town lived a young boy named Ethan Wilson, a bright and curious teenager who had a brilliant mind but one huge weakness: he could never focus. His thoughts jumped like a restless bird, constantly searching for a new branch. Whenever he opened a book, his eyes wandered to his phone. Whenever he tried to study, his mind drifted to video games or the laughter of his friends outside. His father, Mr. Wilson, a hard-working man who always wanted his son to succeed, would often say, "Ethan, your mind is like a wild horse. If you cannot control it, it will drag you into confusion and failure. But if you discipline it, you can ride it anywhere you dream." Yet, like most young people, Ethan didn't take those words seriously. He thought life would figure itself out someday. One morning, after yet another complaint from school about Ethan's poor attention during exams, his father decided it was time for help. He took Ethan to meet Mr. Carter, a wise old mentor known for guiding young people towards success. Mr. Carter lived in a beautiful old house with a garden full of blooming flowers and tall trees whispering in the wind. He welcomed Ethan with a warm smile and handed him a glass of water filled almost to the top and said, "Walk around my garden and come back. Just don't spill a single drop." Ethan almost laughed. "That's it?" he thought. This seemed like the easiest thing ever. He started walking casually, but soon his attention drifted. Birds chirped loudly, butterflies fluttered past, and neighborhood kids played nearby. Curious, Ethan looked around and water sloshed over the edges of the glass. He tried again, but every distraction stole a bit of water. When he returned to Mr. Carter, half the glass was empty. Mr. Carter looked at the glass and gently asked, "What happened?" Ethan sighed. "Everything around me kept distracting me." Mr. Carter nodded and placed a hand on his shoulder. "This glass," he said, "is your goal, and the water inside it is your focus. The noise of birds, the laughter of children, these distractions are like the world pulling you away from your dreams. If you don't learn to control your attention, you'll lose everything important before you reach your destination." Something inside Ethan shifted in that moment. For the first time, he truly understood how much his lack of focus was costing him. He looked at the spilled water and thought about the opportunities he was letting slip away every single day. From that day forward, Ethan made a decision that would change his entire life. He started small. He began waking up early every morning, even when he wanted to stay in bed. He reduced his phone time, especially during study hours. He set clear priorities and promised to give his full attention to whatever he was doing. To calm his mind, he practiced a few minutes of meditation each day, focusing only on his breathing, learning to pull his thoughts back whenever they wandered. At first, it was a battle. His mind still ran wild, always searching for anything to escape the boredom of discipline. Sometimes he failed, sometimes he slipped back into bad habits, but every time he stood back up, reminding himself of the glass of water. Days became weeks, and weeks became months. Slowly, his teachers noticed that Ethan was no longer spaced out in class. He started answering questions confidently. His grades improved, surprising not just his teachers but also himself. His father, seeing the transformation, felt a deep pride he had been longing for. Then came the big test of everything he had learned. A national knowledge competition was announced across the country. The brightest students would compete to solve complex problems under strict time pressure. Ethan signed up, not because he knew he would win, but because he wasn't afraid anymore. When the competition day arrived, students from everywhere filled the huge hall. The moment the timer started, panic spread across the room. Papers rustled, pens scratched, and anxious breaths filled the air. Some students broke down when the questions turned difficult. But Ethan sat still, calm like a deep lake, untouched by storm. He remembered Mr. Carter's words, "Focus on what's in front of you." He took a deep breath and solved one question at a time, blocking out every distraction around him. It felt like he was walking in the garden again, this time making sure not a single drop spilled. After what felt like only minutes, the timer rang and the competition ended. Days later, when the results were announced, Ethan's heart pounded in his chest. He was declared the winner. Cheers erupted around him, cameras flashed, his father's eyes filled with tears of joy, and Mr. Carter stood in the crowd smiling with pride. Ethan realized something powerful. A disciplined mind can achieve what even intelligence alone cannot. His struggle had not been against subjects or exams, it had always been against his own wandering thoughts. And now he had learned to master them. News spread across the community, and Ethan became known everywhere as the boy who controlled his mind. People admired his success, but only he knew the truth, that the real victory happened inside him long before he stepped into the competition hall. And now, as you listen to this story, maybe a small spark has lit up inside you, a reminder of the goals you once set but forgot, the dreams you paused because distraction felt easier. Don't let that spark fade. The world will always distract you. Life will always give you reasons to look away from your purpose. But your future depends on what you choose to focus on today. Just like Ethan, you also hold a glass filled with your dreams. Protect it, guard it, discipline your mind, and you will be unstoppable. Your journey of success does not begin tomorrow, it begins the moment you take back control and decide that nothing can distract you anymore. So, if this story touched you, take action now. Like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe so you and I can keep growing together. Remember, your potential is waiting, your success is calling, and your mind is the key. Start today and don't spill the water.